Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank the AIOS and Dr. Somshila Murthy for this opportunity. Um, I'll be speaking about our experience with posterior segment sequelae of COVID-19 infection. So broadly, we could classify them as infections secondary to immunosuppression from COVID and its treatment, or post-viral sequelae, which was primarily a post-viral retinitis, bilateral optic neuritis in 2 patients, and treatment-related adverse effects, which included CSR from steroid use and voriconazole-induced visual symptoms in 2 patients. Now, the main group is secondary infections during COVID infection, and this is because COVID causes immunosuppression from cytokine overexpression and reduced cell-mediated immunity. Also because it causes de novo diabetes from causing insulin resistance. The use of systemic steroids and immunosuppressives adds to the problem. Invasive procedures in severe cases, and the use of prophylactic broad spectrum antibiotics, which promotes fungal infections. So we'll start with some of our cases. The first patient was a 46-year-old male who called me on teleconsultation saying that this was the picture of his eye and he had COVID infection at that time. He also developed de novo diabetes during his COVID infection. He was on steroids. So when he could come to me, it was already 4 weeks, and this was the picture, hypopion, the vitreous was full of exudates. We operated him the same day. There are balls of exudates suggesting it was fungal. We gave him intravitreal antifungal 2 drugs and also continued him on oral voriconazole for 6 weeks along with oral ciprofloxacin, and he resolved completely at 6 weeks with good vision. Then we had a lady, 59-year-old, who again called with poor vision in the right eye during her COVID infection. She had again developed de novo diabetes during this infection, had been on steroids, and her MRI of the body had shown her some abdominal abscess. So when she came to me, we got her admitted, and the imaging of the abdomen did show splenic abscesses. This was the picture in the eye with satellite lesions. We investigated her extensively and everything was negative. So based on the ocular picture, I started her on anti-tubercular therapy. And you see within 6 weeks, the lesions were resolving. And by 6 months, all the satellite lesions have gone and the main abscess is also resolved with a scar. So systemic TB with COVID-19 is reported, but not ocular TB. And this happens because of the cytokine alteration caused by the coronavirus. Interesting thing was the inflammatory deposits have been described as characteristic of ocular syphilis by Dr. Mudit Tyagi and Avinash Patnge from LV Prasad. But in our case, these tests for syphilis were negative and she responded to anti-tubercular therapy. Now we had another patient more recently with a choroidal abscess that developed during his COVID infection, 17 days after the onset of his COVID infection. This was the picture the other doctor who had first seen has taken. Vision was at that time 6/24. The doctor started him on steroids, the eye doctor, and referred him. Some of the tests which were done were negative for etiology. When I saw him, his vision had dropped by this time to 1/60, but the picture had improved, fundus picture. So I stopped the steroids because it was possibly infective and put him on a broad spectrum, high bioavailability drug, levofloxacin, and completed the investigations. Of all the possible infection investigations, the only positive was Toxoplasma IgG, not IgM, which was negative. So in view of this, I just added Bactrim to cover for possible Toxoplasma, but he was already improving on levofloxacin. So because he was improving, I added steroids again to try and salvage the macula, prevent the macular scarring. And you see 3 weeks later, he's steadily improving. Vision has improved from 1/60 to 6/60. And by now he has been on steroids for 4 weeks, levoflox 3 weeks, and Bactrim for 2 weeks, on which he's continuing. So we still do not know the cause of this choroidal abscess. It could even be non-infective because he was already improving when he came to me on steroids. Then we had an elderly person with candidemia, which was blood culture confirmed during his COVID infection. So he was sent for routine fundus screening because he had candida. And we saw these candida retinitis lesions in the right eye. He was not aware because he was too sick. So we shifted him from fluconazole to voriconazole for a better vitreous bioavailability. He was too sick for intravitreal injections or surgery. And we found that he was improving after 2 weeks. But 6 weeks later, the lesions were increasing and there were new vitreous exudates. So by now he was fit enough for an injection. And we did that with 2 antifungal infection injections, drugs. 10 days later, vitreous inflammation increasing, but the retinitis lesions were resolving. So I decided to continue with oral voriconazole. And you see, 4 weeks later, even the vitreous exudates are resolving. And by 3 months, he has cleared completely. Vision has improved, though there is a small macular scar. And he continued voriconazole for 6 months because he also had candida renal infection. So invasive candidiasis is known with COVID, but retinitis has not been reported. And possibly we should be looking at these fundus of COVID patients for secondary fungal infections because they may not be able to report if they are too sick. This was an elderly person who had had COVID infection 3 months prior and then again had another fever which was not diagnosed as any specific etiology. The referring retina specialist had already done all the investigations for etiology and everything was negative. She had given him doxycycline for 1 week. So when he came to me, this was the picture. To me, this looked very characteristic of post-fever retinitis. So I put him on oral steroids. And within a week, he had improved markedly. Vision was almost normal. And 3 weeks later, some hard exudates. And 8 weeks later, even the hard exudates have gone just on steroids. So this was post-fever retinitis, which has an immune-mediated pathophysiology. Then we had 2 patients with bilateral optic neuritis that developed during their COVID infection. One was a 56-year-old male. By the time he came to us, it was already 4 weeks of symptoms. And vision was 6/36, color vision defective, bilateral secocentral scotomas, but discs looked healthy. We put him on treatment for optic neuritis. 6 weeks later, subjectively better, but objectively nothing had improved. And by now he had also developed disc pallor. Another young lady with bilateral optic neuritis. Then a 40-year-old male with a lot of visual symptoms for 3 weeks. And he was on voriconazole, but objectively there was no problem. Vision, color vision, fields, everything normal. So we reached the diagnosis of voriconazole-induced visual disturbance. His symptoms came down on reducing the dose, but when the dose was increased, again, he was symptomatic. So this is one of the possible causes of visual drop in a patient with COVID, voriconazole-induced reversible symptoms. And interestingly, recently we had a patient post-vaccine bilateral multifocal choroiditis. This was the fundus picture. Within 4 days of vaccine, he developed this picture, which resolved with steroids. And now he's still on steroids 4 months later, because whenever he reduces the steroids, the symptoms come back. And he's also an azathioprine. Etiology test has been negative. Thank you.